So we got our sporting rifle here, bolt action, 300, Win Mag. We're going to go ahead and we have verified there's enough room here in the machine. So we're going to set this right into the machine here. Your front column or your front carriage has already been loosened. So just go ahead and slide that forward to an appropriate location to hold. You want to verify that the front clamp pads can safely and securely grab the front forestock. You want to verify the rear clamp pads can safely grab the rear buttstock. You can always add another pad to the rear if you can always add a third clamp pad. Sometimes a third clamp pad is handy because keep in mind, sporting rifles have the very cushiony buttstock or butt pad, and this very cushiony butt pad impedes it from settling. So that's very important that if you're dealing with a sporting rifle to make sure you properly preload it into the back of the buttstock. The more preload you can give it, the better it is. If you can remove this pad, that would be much more preferred. Obviously the pad is useful for the human, but not useful for our machine. If you cannot remove that pad, just preload it into the back as best you can and clamp it securely. You want to make sure it is in line with the front sling strap because you're going to be utilizing the sling strap position right about that area there. So you can go ahead and adjust this back and put this in the appropriate location. If you're using a right-sided bolt like this one is, you can feel free to move this trigger bar to the other side. Go ahead and loosen it, just slide it out, and you can just lift it and bring it over to this side. At that point, you may need to put this to the outside. Now it is on the outside and we can just slide it into position. We can roughly put it to about the center of that trigger bar, or to the center of the trigger guard, and lock her down, just for a rough estimate. Next, you want to verify you can acquire target. You typically just place your cheek down here, and you can easily look through the scope. Make sure you can acquire target. Once you verify you can acquire target, if you need to adjust your elevation, loosen your two cam lever locks up front, and you can adjust your elevation up or down using your hand wheel. Once you have adjusted your elevation up or down and you have verified while adjusting your elevation that you're able to acquire target, I typically lock my elevation. You need to achieve left-right adjustment. You can always unclamp the machine, move the machine left and right. You want to keep the rifle in center of the machine. So to acquire left-right target, you really want to move the machine. Next thing you really want to verify, your front straps will clear your scope. Whatever scope or optics you have mounted. If you're working with a bolt action rifle here, you're not necessarily going to use your straps to hold the rifle down. But your straps need to clear as a safety catch in case this rifle disintegrates. If possible, use your straps. If you can strap to the barrel section, use your straps. If you cannot, install your straps, but have it just above the barrel. This particular rifle, the receiver, the bolt carrier group, is right here, and I am able to actually strap right there just slightly, which is behind the floating barrel, and it is on the bolt carrier group, which is securely mounted to the stock. So that is an okay place to strap. If you're able to run your strap by your rail, which this one has a rail, that is okay place. You can actually pull down in that area. We realize in sporting rifles you don't want to impede the balance of the barrel. But in some of these sporting rifles, you do have enough room right here where the barrel attaches where you can actually strap the rifle down securely and hold it without affecting its harmonics or point of aim. I will go ahead and lightly put the straps on. I'll go ahead and run this. Okay, they're both right above the barrel. They're not touching. By loosening these, and those ears will slide up and down. Once you have done that, and you've verified you can clamp in the rear and clamp in the front, preload the rifle into the machine. If it has a cushiony buttstock, really preload it. Make sure you're keeping the rifle down, and go ahead and clamp the rear clamp pads. As you clamp the rear clamp pads, verify the rear is stayed in center, and the front is in center of that sling mount position. Once the rear is clamped, come up to here. Make sure you can get to the front sling position. The rifle will still gently move left or right. Adjust your sling position, but you go ahead and slide it over, thread it down. Now that you've got that installed in your center line and you're clamped in the rear, you can go ahead and bring the center in. What you want to do is just bring them in, bring the center pads in till they touch. If you need to make adjustment of the clamp ears, make adjustment of the clamp ears, and then just bring the clamp pads in till they touch. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the straps. On this rifle, I can place this strap right by this rail, which is behind where the barrel mounts. I'm not going to give it a lot of tension, but I'm going to go ahead and ratchet that down, and that'll keep it into this carriage. I'm going to verify my elevation's locked. I'm going to preload my elevation wheel. I'm going to go ahead and clamp my clamp pads. This strap is placed just above the barrel. If you don't like it there, you can run it over the whole machine. I'm sure you've even seen in my video where I didn't even attach it at all. But it's always good to have it there as a catch, and always use this 1-inch one even if you don't ratchet on it. Make sure your elevation's locked. I preload the elevation wheel. It feels solid. Verify your carriage is locked. This one happened to not be. So let's lock her down. Let's lock it down. And go ahead and verify your front sling mount position is locked. Go ahead and move it so it is straight up and down. And lock it down. At that point, you can supply some tension on this. A finger or a thumb is all it takes to apply a little bit of tension to keep it down. This whole purpose is not to hold the rifle down, but to help tension to hold the rifle down. Strap is solid. This strap is held good enough, and this has been pulled down just slightly on the front column or the front sling, and now we're going to lock it. You're ready to adjust your trigger bar. Adjust it to the center of that guard position. Go ahead and loosen your trigger finger and shoe, and place it to the other side, placing the finger through the guard and choosing a hole to best mount it to your trigger assembly. And you can swing the trigger finger and shoe to the best location to best actuate your safety and or trigger. This one has a trigger safety on it. So we're going to swing it right to about center of the bridge. We're going to make sure it actuates the safety and the trigger. You can do fine lateral adjustment, leave a gap, lock it down. We understand some of these sporting rifles, the ammo can be a little bit pricey. So to do a 5 or an 8 round group to settle the firearm may not be what you're wanting to do due to the price of ammo. In that situation, you can do single round groups, and you will have to put the point of aim back to target each time. So if you're doing $10 rounds, $8 rounds, you can actually load a single round, put the crosshairs exactly where you want it, verify where they're at, and send your first round down target. If you're needing to make light adjustment, you can lightly turn the clamp pads one way or the other, and it will shift the firearm. Also, if it is shifted elevation, most of the time you can actually just adjust that from this. You can very lightly turn this, it will drop. Keep in mind, a 1/10 of a turn will move that point of aim fairly good. Just a little bit of tension will move that point of aim. This barrel is free floating in this machine. All we are doing is keeping it down in the stock. We are not touching the barrel. We are not affecting the way the rifle is, You're just keeping it down in the stock. You're moving the stock left and right, keeping that action floating in the rifle. For accuracy testing, I back off the recoil adjustment spring, and I return it to battery each time. This gives me consistency and repeatability. You may want to adjust the recoil up and have it to return itself back to battery, and that is perfectly fine. For repeatability and accuracy reasons, I like to back it off and return it back to battery myself. I realize this machine does not impact this firearm very hard at all. The bumps sound a lot worse than they are. Those are just the hard stops. Sporting rifles are a little difficult to hold. We do a 5-round group, let the firearm cool, and then do your next 5-round group. Let your firearm cool between groups. This allows the action in your bolt carrier group to cool down. The heat will affect your accuracy. So just do a 5-round group, let the gun cool, and then do another 5-round group. The average of those groups is the accuracy of your rifle. You have let the rifle cool in between those groups. The heat of the rifle when those rounds go off, especially the higher caliber rifles, will directly affect your accuracy of the rifle. So we recommend 3 sets of 5-round groups. Okay. Alright, I got my line. It's right next to that hole.
Yep.
The hardest one to hold are these sporting rifles because you can't strap over the barrel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Looked like it moved down, that's a for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
How's that?
Good.
I like that.
Yeah. Damn.
Same spot?
Yeah. Grouping together real nice.
Ready?
Yeah.
Boy,
Just that little bit.
not counting the wind and everything, it's pretty damn close.
That ain't much.
That's snug. Yeah. That put her back. And I think this one needs to come this way. How's that?
Good.
That put her back in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right back there. Yeah. Oh, I did.
Hey, fire in the hole.
Look pretty good.
Beautiful. Let's try her again. Looks like it's just drilling one hole.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point it's pretty settled in.
Ready?
Yep. Getting pretty close. Look at that.
Ready?
Yep.
If it quits vibrating, it may have moved just a ooch over.
Yeah, just
Hard to say if it's the truck or the...
camera, the
Yeah. It's hard to say. Seems all nice and snug though. There you go. How's that?
yeah. Pretty close.
Damn, look at how that groups.
Yeah, it's good. Just right there. Boom.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it. I was like you said, it's just drilling a hole. Gun definitely shoots straight.
Yeah, that flew in a different spot.
So yeah, that was new.
Still pointing in the same spot though.
Oh yeah.
That's what you get with factory ammo.
Yeah.
Ready, Freddy?
Yay.
That does look a little over from where it was.
Yeah, just a skooge.
How's that?
Good, good. You see that thing rumbling.
That's in the same spot.
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
Look at that. And it put a hole right where our other hole.
So look at that.
Nice. Now we got 2 holes to sight on. Last round of 20 rounds. That's 20 rounds on that target, bro.
Yeah.
The gun's warm.
Yeah, I bet you warmed up on it.
It's a pretty good bead.
Oh yeah.
Should we be a little closer? Or you think it's there?
Nah, you're there.
There you go. 20 rounds on target.
That one is right there.
Yeah.
Starting to get a breeze too.
Oh yeah. There you go. And that put her right back. Because it did ooch over some, but those are a little loose. So it does move just slightly, but we're able to put it right back.
Yeah, much.
That's right back to where we started.
This far up a hill, a little wind.
Alright, it's 20 rounds, 150 grain. You saw it on paper. You saw it print. That's it. Looks like we hung the target upside down. But that's it. Alrighty.
Oops.
Alright, that was Remington. 3-round Win Mag, 150 grain, core lock. Alright. We're going to go ahead and try this 180 now. See if it prints any different. You saw 20 rounds of the other stuff. Let's try this. Through that rifle. Alright, here we go. Not recording.
Oh no.
I forgot to push record, but that's okay. 2 rounds, it didn't move. Still center of that hole?
Yep.
Alrighty, fire in the hole. Alright. So center of the hole to me.
She settled in quite nicely.
Alright, let her settle. Still about center.
Yep.
Fire in the hole. Still good there.
Yep.
Hitting the camera. Alright, still center of the bullet.
Yep.
Pretty close. Alright, let her settle. Center. What do you think?
Looks pretty good. May have moved just a smidge, but
Well, oh look, it's back. It's kind of blowing around, huh?
yeah, it is.
Because that's there and then not there, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it
Pretty
then.
good.
Fire in the hole. What do you think? Should I adjust or?
Walked over just a tad.
That's what I'm wondering. Let me check.
Come over just a hair. Wouldn't much.
Okay, how's that?
Pretty good. Kind of on the bottom of the hole a little bit. But
Yeah. There you go.
blank.
Right back on center of the hole.
Yep.
Looks center to me.
Yep.
And that gun has warmed up.
Sure is good and toasty now.
It likes the 180. Look at where it's printed.
Yeah, stay real
It's
close.
the center. Still center.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I could scooched over just to...
We got 2 holes. It's hard to tell.
Or you hollered the hole out a little.
Yeah, I think so too. How's that?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's a little to that side.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I can come this way just a hair. Yeah, it moved one way and then the other. There you go. Huh. Snug her up some. Snug her up some. Here we go. How's that? Still a little to the far right.
Yeah, just a tad to the right.
Now it's not.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Oops.
Now it's on center.
Yep.
Ah, now it's a little to its left.
Yeah. Pulled a bit that way.
It just loosened a little. How's that? There you go. Here you go. Huh.
Yep.
Does look like it moves slightly. Yep, I'd say it moves slightly, huh?
Yep.
So let's bring her back to where she needs to be. Right. There we go. How's that?
Good.
Alright, tighten my lock ring. Yeah. Alrighty. I think I loaded it. Ready?
Ready.
Look at that. Up there.
Good cow.
Boy, I wouldn't have wanted to do 20 rounds of this.
No, I think it looks like you said 40 rounds, but your freaking shoulder gonna be done.
Yeah. I'd say that looks a little off.
A little bit.
Ugh. How's that? A little too far to the right now?
Such a little.
There you go. You think it looks low?
Just a tad. Yeah, it's a little low. There you go.
You think it needs to go back to the right? How's that? Now we're in center. Yep. Oh,
Sure.
I think I loaded it.
I think so.
Fire!
Wing up a little.
How's that?
Yeah. Let's see now.
Alright. I'm cold. Bring her down. Pretty good. Look at that groove.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Too bad we forgot to turn the other camera on. But I didn't want it to see me anyways. That's Tom, dude.